Well, I've just picked up the keys to my new studio, and yeah, this is day one of studio version 3.0, I guess. Started in my little basement studio using all green screen, and then moved down to the little cottage studio at the bottom of my garden. Well, since moving house, we've sort of relocated the studio out of the house. So this is where we are right now, is in the really blank canvas that I've got to work with. So let me just take you on a bit of a tour as we go in. This is kind of like a little shop house. There's, if I just sort of show you outside, there's kind of a row of them. So or rather it's an entire sort of complex of them really. But yeah, these technically I suppose are sort of living downstairs and then 2 bedrooms upstairs. But this one was actually used for an office previously, which is handy because it's got Ethernet already all through the building as well. So we're going into this first room here, and at the back there's another little storeroom, but this is basically going to be what I'm calling the main stage. So this is where I'm going to do something a little bit different to my previous studio. This is effectively, I mean, I'm always talking about the digital stage and how, you know, it's the opportunity for us to deliver our value through the lens to our audience, to our clients or whoever. Well, what I want to do in here is create something that's a little bit more like an in-person experience by having, you know, an actual stage, not a physical raised stage as such, but just what I mean is sort of more space to move around. So you can imagine that if I just turn around here, we've got this back wall over here, the door's just there, we've got stairs going upstairs, I'll show you up there in a moment, and then we've got this other side, which as I say is just a sort of storage area. But on this wall here, this is where there's going to be a really slim desk with computer screens for me to monitor things, and then a camera sort of centrally positioned. We've got the Ethernet socket just on the wall there, but what that's going to give us is basically we've got this view that is going to be something like this. And that's going to give me the ability to stand back, move around the space, and using Obspot Tail 2 is the main camera that I'm going to use in here. It's going to allow me to sort of move around the whole space. And what I'm going to do is all of these windows at the back here are pretty much going to be blocked out. The actual stage set itself is going to be a sort of back that's going to be flat, but then sort of subtly curving or slanting inwards on either side. So it means that as I move over to this side, we've also got a sort of side wall over here. That's going to allow me to have a few different setups. So obviously just being able to move around like this and present from this as I say, this virtual stage. But then have, you know, a set over here, maybe with a little chair, something like that, a little podcast corner if you like. And then over this side, what I intend to have is a huge screen on this side that's going to mean that when I want to go and present, I always talk about the idea of immersive presentations where you are a part of the presentation itself. And obviously doing that with Ecamm Live and bringing in your keynote slides onto the screen is one way of doing that. But also if you are in a virtual space like this, you can imagine if there was just a TV next to me here that I could have my slides or content come up to, then that would be another way of doing that. And if you've got the ability to sort of not have it on screen to begin with, and then I just kind of walk over to where the screen is and introduce the content that way, that's another way of doing things. And to me, it feels a lot more natural to be able to present like this. I know that it looks pretty much in most of my videos like I'm sort of static and stationary, partly because I'm on normally on a wooden dining chair with no wheels or doesn't swivel, so that's keeping me firmly still. But actually I feel much more comfortable being able to stand up and move around, especially when I'm sort of presenting. It feels just a lot more natural really. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of set design goes into this. I've been planning all out and got some interesting ideas, so it's going to be, yeah, really fun to get that all coming together. As I say, in the back, that's just a little storage area. We've got a bathroom down here, which won't feature in my videos. But then if we go upstairs, then as I say, this is technically a sort of 2-bedroom sort of shop house. And if I come up here, I've got an open landing area. There's basically a room at the back there, another bathroom, and then another room at the front. So what I'm going to be doing in here is kind of replicating my existing studio, or I should say my previous studio. So on this wall over here, conveniently enough, that's where the space of the aircon is, and then that's where the Ethernet connection is. So what I'll be doing is having my camera will be sort of central on this wall, so it will be positioned somewhere about here. And although this is a pretty wide angle lens, with my Sony ZV-E10 with my Sigma 30, the 30mm lens will pretty much crop out all of that, and all you'll see is pretty much just this back wall area there. It's about the same depth as my previous studio. By the time I've got my things in, I'll actually be a bit further away from the wall. So yeah, it should just nicely work out. What I'm going to do is actually build a custom desk probably. My other one, although it's been working, I was always kind of sitting at an angle. It's a bit weird, but I was sitting at an angle every time I was filming basically. So what I want to do is create a custom desk that's more of a sort of L shape, and then also put that on casters so that I can roll it out of the way whenever I need to get to the back to rewire things, as happens all the time. I'll probably have like all of the desk part will slide out as one part, and then all things like the UPS, the power supplies and things like that, they'll be on a separate set of rollers, so I can move those out as well, so you don't end up pulling everything out when you roll the desk away. But anyway, that's going to be a nice little design project, and so that will be over here, and then as we look back, there'll be something on the back wall. I haven't entirely decided what that is yet. I've got a few ideas, but I'll play around with a few things. Out at the front here, I do like the fact that this room has got bags of natural light. It's almost a wall of windows, so I don't want to completely block that off. I will probably be blocking it off downstairs, but up here I want to leave this, but I will need to just have something that does block out the light when I'm recording, because I want to be in complete control of the light. So I'll probably take these ones down. I'll probably just block this one out completely. I've got my acoustic panels from the old studio. They will, one of those will fit there to cover the window, or maybe two of them, or maybe just make a couple of others to fit that. The reason is it's good to sort of block out the light from that window, but also helps to reduce the sound, because obviously it's not just light, it's sound that's going to come through those glass panes as well. So I'll probably end up blocking that one off. I guess I will also block this window off as well, just because there's going to be something here, maybe a set of shelves or something like that. So yeah, having that one completely blocked would work well as well. But here I'm just going to change the curtain to something else. I suspect the actual curtain itself wouldn't be in the, you won't get it in the shot once we're sort of cropped in correctly. So I just need to change it to something that's more of a thicker blackout, and probably just a different colour for my own personal preferences. So then on the wall, as I say, I'm going to sort of replicate my existing setup. So there'll be the Nanlite 4s or 60s on either side, the key light on the left there with a 90 centimetre 3-foot softbox, and the one on the right with a 60 centimetre softbox. And as I say, the aircon will be up there, and I'm absolutely dripping at the moment, so we definitely need the aircon. What else in here then? Yeah, so that's about it really. The acoustic panels will make a huge difference. You can hear the echo already. So what I'll do as I start building things out, the first thing I'm going to do is, I did the demo in my old studio when I made that sort of 3 years ago, but I'll do it again in here, because it's such a stark difference when you just stand here talking like I am now, and you literally just come in and prop the acoustic panels up against the wall, nothing else in here, and you'll be amazed at what a difference it makes. It's really great for acoustics. So as we come through to the next room now, this is the sort of, I guess, second bedroom. Not quite sure about the open plan hanging wardrobe space or closet space. I might end up finding this useful though, for some sort of clamps to clamp either lights or camera fittings on, so this may well actually be staying. But what I intend to use this room for though is a sort of mini workshop, if you like, for some, not woodwork as such, but some technical projects. I'm also looking to get a 3D printer. Now that Elgato have released their Stream Deck, what do they call them? Stream Deck modules. I forget the name of them now. The little Stream Deck plates that you can get are basically the switch plates without all of the Stream Deck enclosure. So it allows you to basically create your own enclosures for them, and I've got a few ideas for projects, and not just for that, but for many other things that are kind of studio related as well. And I've held off on getting a 3D printer because I know what I'm like. I would totally go down the 3D printing rabbit hole as a former engineer. If ever you, I don't know if you can be a former engineer. I think you always are once you are one. But anyway, there you go. Yeah, my mind would be totally sucked into that, so I've always sort of held off it a little bit, especially while I've been busy with creating all of the courses and things like that in the Digital Stage Academy. But now that's, I won't say all done, but now that I've got a lot of that in place, then I've got a bit more time to spend on some of these other projects. So yeah, a little 3D printing space couple of cameras in here with a little workbench so that I can also document and share some of those projects I'm doing along the way as well. So that's what this room is going to be used for. Well, I say that, it's also largely going to be used for storage, because one of the things with moving out of my old studio, there's quite a lot of stuff, quite a lot of boxes, quite a lot of parts and things like that that are not necessarily in use all the time. So there will be also a sort of bank of shelves in here to keep all of these things that I do need to, and I do need them, they're definitely a necessity, then have a place to keep all of those things as well. So the first space that I'm going to build out though will be that little sort of front room to recreate my sort of existing studio and main working space. But then the one that I'm actually really most excited about is this down here, the main stage as I call it. The ability to have a space like this. It's about 6.5 meters by I think 4 meters, whatever that is in feet. And so yeah, it's a really good space to be able to move about in and to really be able to create something that is a little bit different than just, a sort of plain backdrop. So that's it. This is the first day in the Take One Tech or Digital Stage Studio version 3.0. I will of course be documenting it all as I go along, and as I sort of build out things and sharing my ideas before I put them into practice, and then you can see how they turn out relative to my vision as well. Any questions, of course, or any suggestions maybe, might be a better thing to say, then feel free to drop them in the comments, and yeah, look forward to sharing the journey with you all.